is not even the beginning of the end. But it is perhaps the end of the beginning.
For the past 2.5 years, the Allies have confronted one irrefutable fact. If they are ever to defeat Hitler, they must invade and retake Fortress Europe.
The massive offensives which are in the making will require every ounce of energy and fortitude that we and our allies can summon.
Without victory, there is no survival. Let that be realized. No survival.
Everyone knows a big show is coming, but not much more.
After surviving 12 months of brutal campaigning against Axis forces in North Africa and Sicily, Army Second Lieutenant Charles Scheffel is in England. The 24-year-old combat veteran is with the 39th Infantry Regiment, practicing assault landings in preparation for the most complicated amphibious assault in history.
Every time we come down here, we see more embarkation camps popping up along the coast and more ships in the harbors.
After victories in North Africa and Italy, the Allies finally feel ready to launch their long-anticipated invasion of France.
Every open space is crammed with gear and supplies. The countryside is filled with tanks, trucks, half-tracks, and munitions of all sorts. If they put any more supplies on the island of Great Britain, it's gonna sink. There isn't any place you can go
that you didn't find military. And then that's when I realized how massive this attack is going to be.
If the Allies are to have any chance of successfully landing on Normandy's beaches, they must first dominate the skies over the English Channel and France. To do this, they must strike at the heart of the German Air Force. Their mission is to target factories where German fighters are being produced. It's time to unload their 5,000 pounds of ordnance.
These 1,000-pound bombs, these big, ugly, dead things, come alive just long enough to kill everybody around. God, what the hell happens when they connect? I come from a land where bombs never fall. What do I know about it? Kill everyone in our bomb's way, and we never even see them die. The only death we see is the death of our friends.
For the past month, B-17 co-pilot Bert Stiles has been flying 2 to 3 missions a week. The pace of operations is frantic, and casualties are mounting. Last month alone, the 8th Air Force lost 409 aircraft. Now, with the Normandy invasion looming, the 8th Air Force is stepping up their campaign. They are hitting targets deep inside Germany in an effort to keep the Luftwaffe away from the coast of northern France. Stiles is on a mission to Berlin, one of the most heavily defended targets in the Third Reich.
just to kill as many Germans as possible. And if any women or little kids get in the way and get their legs torn off or their faces caved in, well, tough shit for them.
Unknown to Stiles and the rest of the crews, the real purpose of their mission is to function as a form of aerial bait to draw out the German Luftwaffe, 70% of which is stationed in the area around Berlin. Once the enemy planes engage the B-17s, squadrons of the newly developed long-range American P-51 fighters can execute a surprise attack and decimate them. Allied command considers the loss of B-17 crewmen a strategic sacrifice.
It's gotten to be a joke. Each time they wake us up in the night for a mission, someone calls out, "It's D-Day," but it never is.
B-17 co-pilot Bert Stiles and his bomber crew are roused after getting only 30 minutes of sleep. A chaplain is conducting a special service.
Something's up. The officers are all in their pressed uniforms. I get the feeling that we're close to big things. Our base commanding officer says, "This is it. This is invasion. You're flying in support of ground troops." And just like that, all our wariness evaporates. Rattles on the skin of the plane. Normally, with this weather, the flight would be scrubbed, but not today. Nothing can interfere with today.
On the morning of June 6, 1944, Stiles and the entire 8th Air Force are among 11,000 Allied aircraft sent to pummel strategic targets on and behind the invasion beaches.
It's a trucking job, pure and simple. But there's nothing simple about it. Plenty can go wrong. The breath is tense in my throat.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. Together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory.
I think that from the standpoint point of our enemy, we have achieved the impossible. We have broken through their supposedly impregnable wall in northern France. We have established a firm foothold. True, we still have a long way to go to Tokyo, but carrying out our original strategy of eliminating our European enemy first and then turning all our strength to the Pacific, we can force the Japanese to unconditional surrender or to national suicide much more rapidly than has been thought possible.